So hello everybody, my name is Peter J. Newland. We are here in reference to the Essential Songbook of Western New England, and I wanted to introduce you to somebody who is featured in that, my friend, longtime friend and master songwriter, Norman Schell. Norman, you had two songs nominated. You had my favorite, Charles Street, and you had a song called Far North. And what I understand, every nominee had one song chosen this year, and so Far North, both songs garnered enough votes to be eligible, but Far North garnered more songs than Charles Street. So I was wondering if you would just talk a little bit about the writing of that song and your experience with that.
I'd be happy to do that. I want to give a little background first. I was the victim of a parental kidnapping. My father picked me up at school one day and we headed to Florida. That features in the first verse of the song. The song really is autobiographical. The first part of it is based upon the experience of living down south and then moving on, and then the second part of it is based upon my life in Worcester and moving on. I wrote it specifically to be, there's no reason to write a song really unless you have a purpose in the song. My purpose in the song was to tell part of my story using a little bit of artistic or poetic license, certainly. But I wanted to, Clean Living, the band that I fronted, we needed to have something strong to come back in our second album. Coming into the second album, we knew, and I knew, that we needed to have a strong song, one with plenty of hooks in it. Our new producer, Danny Weiss, agreed and loved the song, and so the song came out the way it's come out because of Danny Weiss too in the ability to help us put that song together in a commercially viable way, full of hooks. The first hook is the instrumental introduction. I like the fact that for the first 30 seconds of the song, you get Clean Living really clean, just us, and then you build up. I used to call it the theme from Big Valley once all the backup came in, and then the hooks from that point on were added. And by hooks, I mean those things that people relate to. The nice clean beginning with Clean Living just playing, I really like that part of it. And then the build, and that was part of Danny Weiss's addition to the song, was to really build it, adding in the strings. I wasn't at the time all that excited about the strings, but as I listened to the song, I realized what he was doing. He was building that song up, and I'm very happy with the song. I'm really proud that it's been included in this endeavor. The hooks in the song, there's a number of them. It revolves around the moving forward from one place to another, the loss of one place moving to another. I don't need your love to keep me warm. I've got someone, I'm moving north to get out of here. And then later in the second verse, I'm in a city and it's cold and I'm not connected there in any way, but I need to break these chains that are holding me. These are all things that any working class boy can relate to, and that's really what I am. I'm a working class boy, and my songs are all working class songs. And then we also, at the end of the song, I made sure that I gave them a good 10-second opportunity to talk over at the end of the song. Any DJ worth his salt can say an awful lot in 10 seconds. So I looked at it in terms of a hit. Danny looked at it in terms of a hit, and so did the band. And we sent it out to be a hit. And we went on from there to continue to do music here, and we made a number of small tours around the Northeast. And we were very successful for a local band like that, but we never made that step into the ether. Danny Weiss came to me right after I moved here to Greenfield about 1990, and he wanted to license the song, and we did some research and found out that now it was being held by the Welt Group. They demanded $5,000 from him up front to license the song. He didn't have that kind of money. So that's the story of Far North again. It's autobiographical. It was written specifically to be approachable for anyone, and in that sense, I wrote it to be a hit. And Danny Weiss, he was a great producer, lovely to work with. He really drew out the best from the band, and had enough confidence in the song. He came back to me almost 20 years later, wanted to license it and re-release it. And like I said, I haven't thought about these things for a long time because I have not wanted to be bitter about it. I've been a very blessed man. I'm blessed in the fact that I'm here 50 years later and we're talking about the song. Blessed that I walk into a club in the area to find somebody playing Charles Street brings me to tears. I walk into another club 6 months later and somebody's playing Galilee. You know, 50 years later, somebody's playing one of my songs. So I have nothing to complain about, except that I'd rather be doing this interview in Aruba. Other than that, I'm good.
Well, it certainly is an incredible catalog, and one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that we documented.
Myself, blah, blah, blah. That was the one that really taught me how to put a song together, to go in 3 verses and have a point at the end, you know.
Charles Street should be, every songwriter should know Charles Street, whether they do it or not. It's hard to, I've tried to play it, it's my favorite, one of my favorite songs. I mean, it's up there with Boys of Summer by Don Henley, it's up there with Runaway by Del Shannon. It's you know, it's, but it's so delicately played and that I don't do that song well. But for me, nothing captures the essence of being a songwriter. I've never heard a song that captured it better than that song. So on that note, I want to get a commitment from you to sit down and let's find some time to sit down and talk about this for an hour. You know, because I want to do it, and I also think you are a master at what you do, and I want to capture that so that I can share it with, you know, our friends, and I want to share it with young writers so they can have the benefit of your knowledge. So is it a deal?
It's a deal.